Hello guys. In a previous video, I talked about the DMVPN, how can we configure DMVPN in tunnels, make the neighborship in tunnels between the central building and the branches. Just I review one more time about the phase 1, 2, and after that I will talk about phase 3. So let's start. Okay. Uh, First of all, I get a show IP protocol. Just I remember that. Yeah, for the DMVPN, we had a EIGRP. The EIGRP is naming because we have K6, so it shows this is EIGRP naming. The name is Cisco, and the AS number is 10. Uh, we have also OSPF. OSPF is for the connection between these routers. We don't care. Okay, so now I write IP route EIGRP. Uh, just I review about that phase 1, 2, and after that I explain about phase 3. You saw that when we set the commands, everything in here between the central and the branches. In Berlin, in central, learn the route of the other branches is like loop back 2, 3, and 4. Berlin learn all from the others. But if we go in the branches and says show IP route EIGRP, we saw just the branches learn only the Berlin connection, the route of the Berlin. Only the IP routes is in the center, not from the other branches. I explain you this branch spoke 1 advertised to Berlin, spoke 2 advertised the routes to Berlin, spoke 3 advertised the routes to Berlin. But just imagine here is a tunnel, tunnel 1. It is one tunnel, one interface of the tunnel in central. So when advertise and get all the advertising from the others, Berlin cannot advertise the other routes. It is new for the other branches to them because of the split horizon. Split horizon was the mechanism in EIGRP to prevent our loop. So we know here we don't have any loop between them. So because of this, we can go in Berlin and disable the split horizon. After that, you will see that the other branches also learn not just 111. They will learn 2, 3, and 4. So I go in Berlin. I go in the configuration mode, router, EIGRP, Cisco, address family IPv4, autonomous system was 10, and I go in interface of tunnel 1, and here I disable the split horizon. Okay, and new agency happen, new neighborship happen. You see between all the branches and the hub, between spoke and hub. And now take a look. If I make a show IP route EIGRP, now we saw that the branches also learn the routes from the other branches. Here also enable show IP route EIGRP. Yeah. So this is the phase 1. In phase 1, now we can communicate from the spoke to the hub and hub to the spoke. For example, in Hamburg, if want to contact with the loopback 2 in Munich, here, it must go through the hub. So any contact from the spoke to a spoke send it to the hub. Hub will send it to the spoke. or this spoke want to talk with this spoke, the spoke, for example, 333, it shows. It will go to the address of the Berlin, the central building. Goes there through the central building, goes to a spoke and get a response and again send back key from the central to a spoke one. So this is the phase one. For phase one in EIGRP, just we remove a split horizon and now it will work. But I told you in phase two, we wanted to make options that all the data not goes to in central. Just spoke can directly contact each other. So because of this and for this purpose, I told you the other option is next hop self. Next hop self when is active, it shows that when Berlin advertise any routes to others, says that I am the source. I am the source of this. So if you want to do something, just come and pass through me. And yeah, it shows here if you want to go, for example, in Frankfurt, if you want to go in a route 222 or 444, you must pass through the central. But we must say that no, we want to see the spokes directly together, they can communicate together. So I will go in Berlin and disable the next hop self. Says that shows this real source. Here I write it no next hop self. So just we do it here in the central building. We do it in hop. Okay. This is phase two. Let's see. This is phase two. It means that now spoke to a spoke can find each other directly. Before that, if we want to from Frankfurt go to 222, we must pass through 11 Berlin. For 44, we must pass through Berlin. But now, if I get a show IP route EIGRP, it shows if you want to go through 222, you can go this IP. Shows directly the spoke. You want to go 444, you can go this address. So from central, everything moved and spokes can directly contact each other. Just, just for the first time that spoke one want to contact with spoke two, for one time go to the Berlin and ask about the next hop resolution. And Berlin says that this is the interface of the spoke two. And after that, spoke one and spoke two directly talk to each other. Just I give you an example. For example, I want to trace route uh, loopback 333. Okay, so I said 333 with a source of loopback 1. It means from 444, and I write it numeric. Okay. So now the tunnel built automatically. Just a moment. Oh, sorry, I make a mistake. 333 is for Frankfurt. I make it 444. 444. 333 belongs same router. We want to from spoke 2 contact to spoke 1 with the source loop back of 33. So now I write trace route from the Frankfurt. Okay, you see, for the first time goes ask from the Berlin what's the address, and after that get this 1 4. If I now again trace route, never go to the Berlin because now learn about the IP that must go directly. So in the second one, see that it goes directly in 1 4. If I do again, you will see. Never ask. Just for the first time, ask from the central building, from the hub, and get the information, and after that, communicate directly. If I show DMVPN, you can also see now when we did this trace route, a dynamic tunnels built between spoke 2 and spoke 1. For example, if I want to make a trace between these two, also I make another tunnel, dynamic tunnel. Let's check it. For example, I says trace 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. For the first time, we'll ask from the hub. For the second time, never go ask from the hub. Go directly to the spoke tree. Now, if I make a show DMVPN, you can see now also the second dynamic tunnel happened, build this tunnel, and we have now these two dynamic tunnel and spokes directly connected. And it has a hold time. Something is good this whole time. Maybe you set it 1 2 hours like this, so if something also in hub happen, they can continue directly contact each other, reachable to each other, and nothing will happen till the whole time finish. And after that, the whole time, this dynamic tunnel all will be deleted. Uh, this is phase 2. So phase 1, we remove split horizon, but we saw in phase 1 all the traffic goes in hub. In phase 2, we came and disabled the next hub to spoke find each other directly. In phase 3, you imagine that we have several, it is a hub and spokes. This is for big organization and scalable. It's very scalable for the phase 3 that we use when we have several hub and spoke, and they want to contact each other. For simple configuration, just we need add something. This I show you here. Just I search multi-region, you get the idea. This is hub 1, this is hub 2, and hub talk with the other with spoke. Hub 1 talk with the spoke that belong to hub 1, and these spokes also want to contact each other. This is phase 3. For phase 3, we need just two simple command added. Nothing very complicated. I must go in interface of the tunnel. Okay. Uh, in central conft, I go interface of tunnel 1 and IP NHRP redirect. In phase 3, just we need in hub add this command IP NHRP redirect. This means that anytime you need any contact with any other spokes, come to me. In my table, I will show you how can go and connect that spoke directly. Because of this command, so we don't need again next hop self. What was the next hop self? We disabled the next hop self in EIGRP because introduce spokes to each other directly. So when we use this one, we must disable and remove the next hop self in EIGRP because NHRP redirect will handle it. So in phase 3, we remove next hop self and add this command. In all the branches also, we must go in the interface of the tunnels and add IP NHRP shortcut. That's it. in phase 3 is very simple. So we need to all branches set this command in hop, add this command, and we remove next hop self because we don't need it. Redirect will handle everything. I hope be useful all this information and have a nice day.